Hello, hello, hello. My name is NicholassRivas, and I talk about politics and stuff. And today we're going to be talking about a uh, really weird topic. In recent days, the Spider-Man PS4, PS5 game released to PC. Uh, cool. Now people have it on the PC. Opens up doors for different players that didn't couldn't play before because they didn't have a PS4 or 5. But then people started modding. You know what people do on the PC. It's more open. It's open source in a sense, where you can edit the files and do whatever and yada yada, which is really cool. But controversy ensued where people started removing some of the pride flags that were kind of layered around the uh, map with just the American flag, which sound like a um, anti-gay thing, right? Like, oh, I don't like gay people. It's about America, and very like right-wing conservative mindset. Uh, so everyone like understandably was like, that's weird. I remember hearing about it and feeling very hesitant though. Not to say that the story is fake. I think you could do that in the code. But I was hearing that the creator of that mod also did the same thing inverse. He had a mod where you could have the American flags turned to gay flags. It says, huh. So it then started being reported. Understandably, not from the mainstream, because I don't think they're in the game sphere this closely. I think they just saw this like kind of more bigoted approach to like a mod in a game and thought, oh, weirdo shit, and just kind of moved on from there. Because I'm not seeing much follow up from this, other than people in the mod community talking about it. So I could be wrong, but the modder had a mod for both. It looked like he was just doing mods, like he wasn't trying to be bigoted. He was just seeing what he can do. But then it came out that, oh no, he didn't even have to do any sort of coding, because you have to think about this. The code in the game, for those who don't make or do any sort of coding, it's not like there's a button that just says turn flag gay, turn flag not gay, right? I mean, theoretically, um, if you put a bunch of flags in the game, maybe there's a code that represents flags, and maybe you have to look up any assets that are rainbow colored. You have to look for the rainbow colored in your coding. Like anything that's rainbow colored, you have to reverse, right? I mean, you have to think about this in a logical sense. Um, how did the creator do this, right? And there has to be like a logistic thought process of this. And when you think about it more, I don't think there is. I don't think there was a feasible way for somebody to replace all the flags with ease, or at the very least, like if you know coders, they're not going to sit there and go through every single flag and try. Like there has to be a quick way to do this, or a quicker way, especially how quick the turnaround was to have this flag do this, right? Like how to change these flags with a little bit of ease. So a lot of people come to the conclusion that, like, I think this guy was just doing a mod on something that was already kind of moddable. Hear me out. The guy who put this out there, I don't think he did anything that he wasn't already allowed to do. I think in the game you could already do that, and many started theorizing. I also think they had some grounded of proof that you could change the countries that the game is based in. Like, when you release a game in Japan, there should be a Japan language. But sometimes there's changes. In Australia, they do a lot of censoring of video games, and so a lot of gore is taken out. So if the game is an Australian copy, it could be different from the Saudi Arabia copy, which leads us to what I believe to be the reason for this ease of changing the code was not because this guy was that good of a hacker of sorts. I think the code for Saudi Arabia, which is definitely anti-gay, allowed him to do this because they already had it in the code that if there was any gay representation, Saudi Arabia would remove it. Now, I don't know if Saudi Arabia is even a release on the game. I could be wrong. This could just be straight from my ass, but this is just what I'm believing occurred, you know? And again, could be wrong. But that's what I'm kind of starting to see a little bit more, is that I think there was some little trickery from the guys at I think it's Insomniac. I think they're not coming out fully, because why would they say this? Like, yeah, we have something in code to remove any LGBT representation. Obviously it's gonna make their Western fans mad. So I think we got ourselves a classic case of the old company playing both sides of the Pride Month type of thing, you know? So yeah, I'm very excited to see what occurs, because I think at first people were very disgusted, understandably, but it turned to like, oh, why was it so easy for this guy to do this? So I guess we'll see. God damn it, I fucking died. I guess we'll see how it goes, but from here, I don't think that guy should be angered at. Like, I think people were getting mad at this modder. So we'll see what happens. I think it's hilarious. It's one of those things where I'm not like, ecstatic for that it occurred, but I think there's more to the story. And if people were more in the coding sphere, they would know that it ain't a flip of a switch, right, to change the flags. So I think there's some deeper shit. But if you want my moral argument to it all, I think it's stupid that if people want to remove the gay flags, they're just being bigoted dumbasses. But I don't think it's also that deep. I think it's the company doing it, or indirectly showing their cards of how they deal with the Pride Month and shit. So yeah, it is what it is.
Hella cheese, hella trees, hella